All right, friends. Well, let's do some more painting. I'm getting a late start today. I just got off my last call at work, my day job. It's been a long day. What is it? 6:50 p.m. now, and my first call at work was at 7 a.m. this morning. So another 10 minutes of work, and it would have been a 12-hour day. So we'll see stamina-wise how we do. Boy, it sure be nice to finish this painting today. Let's see. Maybe we can work on the background a little bit. I remember I want to cut into her hair a little bit and maybe shape that a little. Maybe get some more values here. And then, I don't know if you guys could see it, but her eye, the whites of her eyes, what's that called? The sclera is pretty pink. Maybe I'll whiten that up a little bit. The values don't look too bad. They look a little too light on the video camera, but they're actually not too far off in real life. I guess I got to get a better camera, don't I? But yeah, let's do that. Let's work on that background a little bit. Let me get a little bit fatter brush. So these I use for plein air. Let's see. It's a Zen Royal and Langenfeld, I think is what it is. And this is a 1/2 inch. I'm sure I just got it at Michael's. Yeah, well, 1/2 inch isn't too bad. I guess I got some bigger ones, but this one should be fine. Yeah, let's work on that background a little bit. So right about here is where the road stops, and then above this line is kind of where the brush is. Oops, I better tighten that down a little bit. So let's do that. So this bottom half is kind of a bluish gray, maybe a little bit greener towards the bottom. So let's get some bluish. Oh man, my paint is really dry. So let's get a little bit of that. A little bit of this. So we'll start with that. Yeah, we're just about done with this painting. I guess what I will do for the next portrait is scrape all this yucky old paint off, and then we'll go through my colors and stuff. So where was that line again? It was about halfway through her chin. So somewhere right about there. And then we've got kind of another weird little line here. I may have to break down and squeeze out a little more color. So I mentioned I wanted to go in a little close here. But that's a totally different color, so let's hold off on that. Really green down towards here. Oops, I made a boo-boo. Nothing too fancy, just get some color down. Probably a little too green. So to desaturate that green, we'll get a little red in there. Oh, you got to be careful with this Cad Red. It's actually, I use Cad Red Light, but it's, all the Cads are pretty powerful. I definitely overdid it there. So see, just that little bit of red, it's totally ruined all of my color. And let's start over. So that's the problem with trying to be lazy and not lay down more paint, because I was pushing really hard to get some blue on my brush, which was required for the blue, but the red isn't quite as dry. So I got too much of that red on my brush. Needs to be lighter. Ooh, there we go. We'll have to put some of that hair color back on top. We know how to do that. There we go. Oops. So again, I grabbed too much of that yellow. Yellow. Purple. Get some more of that blue in there. All right, let's not get too fussy right now. Let's just get some color down. All right, I'm going to rinse that out of my brush. So it's kind of in here, there's a weird little highlight. We may have to come back to that. That's just got a little orange in it too. We'll play with that later. So it's heater weather. My heater's kind of been on all day. The temperature's dropped quite a bit. So this, and I'm just gonna get, I'm not gonna go too accurate in here, but I want the value to be darker. That's gonna be light in there. Kind of this whole middle section is kind of dark. Kind of goes up here. Maybe a little bit around the top here. I gotta squeeze. Excuse me, excuse me. just going to kind of get abstract a little bit over here. Let's get some light greens in there. Might be the wrong green. That's getting pretty close though. Next time I'm oohing and on about all the bokeh that my fancy lens creates, I'm going to have to keep in mind that someone's got to paint this damn thing. Alright, let's get some dark. Let's get some darkness in there. I want all this to be abstract. I'm just trying to vary my brush strokes, keep things abstract and loose. Someday I want to do that, be able to do that with skin tones. And I should use two brushes. So let's see, I've got a similar 1/2 inch flat. It's really dry and crusty. Let's get some of that blue in there towards the edges. Get a little Bob Rossi over here. Gotta be careful of that because we want the hair to be in front of the background, not the other way around. I don't mind that. Might have screwed that up though. Just means we got to put the hair over the top of it again. And then the other thing too, since this is in the back, you don't want that hard line right there, that hard edge. So let's get rid of it. All right. Now let's add some lights back in there. Let's see. I guess that would be my light brush. Ooh, today was a long day. But I'm excited about painting. The first thing I did when I get off my last call was to feed my dog and then run down here and get set up to paint. All right, so back in here again. Again, I think I'm gonna have to put some hair back over the top of that. All right, before I fuss with that some more, let's get something up here. All right, and I think I'm gonna go with a little smaller brush, a little more control. Ooh, that comes out a lot brighter on my, a lot brighter on the camera than it is in real life. All right, let's add some of that hair back. No. I think we'll use my new favorite brush for that. Someone is blowing me up on Instagram. My watch is going nuts. Oh, I think their response is I was messaging somebody earlier and they might just be getting back to me. I'm painting. This isn't quite. That might be a little too heavy-handed. All right. I did say I wanted to make those eyes a little brighter, but something I want to do first is I want to fix this catch light right there because it's not working for me. So let's just cover it up. And then I guess I got screwed up that eyebrow a little bit. Yeah, let's make those eyes a little wider. So even though I say I want to make it wider, you see what I did is I dipped my brush right into that black to kind of gray this white down a bit. Again, you'll probably hear me say it every time we talk about eyes, but eyes just aren't white. The sclera is kind of gray, grayish pink. The outer edges, like where the tear ducts are, those are red, and then kind of around the edges are red. I think that looks a lot better. I put that, it's hard to oil paint like wet on dry. So like sometimes when you lay down a brush stroke, like I just did, I laid down that white and it looked like it was sitting on top of the paint. So what I did is I added some paint below it, this red, really just to be able to mix into it. And it's a hard thing to explain. But if you don't mix into the wet paint, it's almost like the paint that you lay down is like it looks like a stamp. It looks like you literally laid it on top of. And I guess that's a cool thing about oil painting too. How the paint sits on top. How the paint sits on top of previous layers. But it also, in the wrong places, it also can look weird. So now I laid this red line down, and so then I blended on top of it, and now I'm going to blend below it. And that's obviously too dark. So let's see. And that's obviously too light. It's obviously too far. That's so same thing. This time I laid a white line down instead of a red line. And then I'm going to go back and reestablish my black around it. And my pink. Just kind of bopping around, seeing where I can. You get a little carried away. And it's like you lay down 2 or 3 brush strokes and they'll be perfect. And then that last one will be like, oh my God, what have I done? All right. So now I'm kind of looking at my edges. stuff like this. No bueno. Well, that's not so great either, though. You guys can't even see that bit. I can't wait to just sit down and not do anything tonight. My butt is sore from sitting all day. Just kind of fixing some rough areas there. So I haven't decided yet what my next portrait is going to be. I know who it's going to be, one of 4 people, but I haven't sat down to actually pick one yet. There's Allie, who I think might be next, but I'm kind of intimidated because all of my favorite pictures of her, she's got a big giant smile. And I don't know if you've ever tried to paint teeth before, or open mouth smiles before, but they're fucking hard and time consuming. I think it kind of needs, that part needs to really kind of whip out more. It really needs to come out here. I think right idea, wrong color. So probably weird to talk about portraits without being able to show them to you, but maybe I'll do a video on how I select my next portrait. That was probably a mistake. All right. Well, I think what I'm going to do is clean my palette off, since all this paint is crap, and think about this painting a little bit. I guess we'll put my favorite brushes here. I'm not saying I'm done with this painting, but I'm done fighting this paint. I'm kind of tired. Yep, so there's Allie, who's got the big smile. I call it the can't not smile. Like she literally, if I don't know. I guess I did tell her not to smile once or twice, and those portraits are some of my favorites too, but I don't think it's her natural state to not be smiling. And then there's Elsie, who probably, I've said it a couple times now, is one of my top 5, maybe top 3 portraits I've ever taken with a camera since I've been doing photography. But it's a horizontal format, and I'm going to have to play around with my setup here to be able to share me painting a horizontal painting. But I almost want to save that one to the end. And then there's Phoebe. She's got short, kind of sandy blonde hair, and I really like her look. And I definitely have some good portraits of her that I love. So I'm excited about painting her. But we were supposed to do a photo shoot that I had to cancel on. Well, I didn't have to cancel on. It was the one I was talking about with the shitty weather. And there's Jessica, who is absolutely gorgeous too, that I'm excited about painting. My only problem with Jessica, she's got straight black hair. So I'm not sure how to make that. I'm not sure how to paint that. Whew, I'm exhausted. I gotta go get another scraper. Don't go anywhere. My dog's gonna follow me, but that's fine. I can't believe it's 8 o'clock already. Oh, I'll tell you what, that background looks really good. Really good from far away. This scraper is no joke. We'll set that here for now. So I'll squeeze out more paint at the beginning of next session. We'll go through the colors a little bit. I mentioned I got next week off, and I was looking to do some kind of a tutorial video. Maybe we'll go through my colors and some color mixing info. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, so next session, I think we're done with this painting. I think you guys are probably done with it, so I'm gonna call it done. But I'll do a varnishing video, and I'll take some pictures and stuff and put them up. I'll put them online, and oh, and I'll do a time lapse too. I was playing with CapCut, which is my video editing tool, and I figured out how to do time lapse. I've got to splice together these videos. I guess I got to splice together 5 videos and then create a time lapse from them. But I'm excited to do that. I'm excited for you guys to see an actual picture of this. I guess I gotta invest in a better camera so that you guys can see what I'm actually painting better. So let's see here. Well, not much else for tonight. I think I'm gonna call it an early one. I know yesterday was a short video and today is as well, but it's been a long day and I need to take a break. I think we're gonna get a new, oh, this glove isn't too bad. We'll use it. But yeah, I think we'll call this done for you guys unless something just jumps out at me that I have to share with you all. But all right, well, look forward to the next session. You guys all have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe.